Denise Thomas, it's a delight to have you here for the Game Changer interviews that we're doing for all the participants in this awesome book. So thank you for being here. So tell us a little bit about you, who you are and what you do.
Okay, well, I'm Denise Thomas, and I run an 8-week online course for parents called Cracking the Code to Free College, on which how to keep your kids from having college debt. And I got into this because there are more than 44 million people in the US collectively owing $1.5 trillion in student loan debt. I was one of those. And I was determined not to let my kids be part of that statistic. So I did a lot of things differently as we were approaching that moment in time, right? And I learned exactly what they wanted for scholarship and admissions essays. I found out what kind of opportunities got the attention of them. And I had my kids take the ACT and SAT starting in the 8th grade.
Wow.
I did a whole lot of things, and basically it wasn't about just finding scholarships. It was about how to win them. So yeah, I did all of that and so much more to make sure my kids wouldn't have student loan debt. And now it's all part of my online course.
So you're in editing your chapter. I know you homeschooled your children. Very cool. I homeschooled mine as well. Yeah, and they grew up. I didn't know those things because I had not been college educated myself, so I wasn't aware of all that went into that. And we had quite a time getting them into college just because we finished high school pretty early in homeschooling, and my youngest daughter actually went to community college, and the day she was graduating Phi Theta Kappa with her associates, they told her, you can't graduate because you don't have a GED. But up until then, she wasn't old enough to have it. So that day she did graduate, but she had to also go do her GED that day.
Yeah, luckily things have changed. They're a lot more homeschool friendly now.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of educating done through all of that. So why did you feel it was important to participate in the Game Changer series?
Wow, well, I honestly didn't even think I had a story to tell, really. But in writing it, I realized just how my parents were influencing my college experience and how that impacted what I felt I needed to do for my kids to get them through college debt free. After I finished writing my chapter, though, I became aware of just how much this story could help others. And so I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be part of the book.
Well, your chapter was really interesting. As I was editing it, I was like, wow. Yeah, and the thing we have in common is that we did homeschool our kids. So, and I loved every moment of that. So share something from your story that perhaps you didn't talk too much about, that maybe that you would like people to know also about you or about your business.
Well, the big thing that I didn't expound upon is what my kids are doing now, which is all basically it came from what I did for them. And it was the end result, I guess you'd call it. My daughter was free to travel to Dubai to meet her husband while he was on deployment. And she's been able to start several successful businesses right out of school. And my son has gone through, oh gosh, I don't know how many cross-country trips almost every summer during his college years. And that's what's possible when your kids graduate without college debt. They're free to use their money differently. It really opens up their future. And so, truth is that's why I'm so passionate about this. It's able to help parents and their kids have that same freedom.
And I noticed in your book, in your chapter, you said that you and your husband are traveling cross-country a lot yourself.
Yes. Actually, I remember we've been doing this for about 5 years now. And we literally, before my son even graduated high school, we literally sold the house, sold everything, that we had, sold his bed right from under him. And it was like, okay, so how's that for your room is no longer available? So yeah, and the things we've been able to do have really been a direct result of not having to pay for their college. It's been freaking awesome, so yeah.
Very awesome.
It's been cool.
Wish I had had that information when my girls were going through that stage. So the main message of your chapter, what's the main thing that you want the readers to take away?
I think my main message is hope. Even though we went through all those things, including bankruptcy and not knowing if or when or how we'd get through it, there's always hope. And now I'm passing on that hope to my kids and other families through my program.
Very good. That's beautiful. So how is the best way for, if somebody wanted to reach out to you for maybe taking your course or just having a conversation with you, how would they do that?
Well, I do have a website, and my website is www.getaheadoftheclass.com. There's plenty of ways to reach me on the website. There's lots of free information as well, just to help you along your road of getting your kids out of college for free.
Very valuable information. That is so cool that you're doing this. I know because there's a lot of people homeschooling right now. There was, back when I did it, there was a lot, and we had amazing fun. We had homeschool groups where our kids were part of, and all the kids used to end up at my place. We had a lot of fun. We taught them square dance, and we did a lot of amazing field trips. And the fun part was that we had all age groups. It was really cool.
Yeah.
So thank you for your heart, for the time that you've given to this, and for your really awesome chapter in the Game Changer. And you are one of those game changers just by what you're doing.
I hope so. I really want parents to realize there's another way. You don't have to be saddled with crippling college loan debt.
Right. And I think there's a lot of young people that don't go to college just because of the fear of the debt.
Not only that, there are a lot of kids in the middle of college that literally are so concerned about the debt and that it keeps mounting because every year there's more debt. They actually are concerned and aren't even going to finish college because of the amount of debt. And that's just horrible.
Yeah. And they're not enjoying the process. They're not enjoying that time. They're not and a lot of times there's a lot of dropout because of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, Denise, so much for your time and for being on this awesome interview.